Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another weekly update. Susan in top form today. Welcome to a State of the Canyon update. We're going to talk a little bit about the canyon. We're going to do a little bit of wheeling. It's what we do every Friday. If you're here hot off the heels of what is, for me is, and for you was, a successful live stream, if that worked, if the software cooperated and I managed to keep it together, then hey, welcome back double. So talking about what's upcoming and what has passed without talking about what has not transpired yet is going to be super weird. So we're just going to circle around it. Many of you who have seen the international news about the rain, which was like a week of it, which to most of you go, eh, but to us it was a lot. It was a lot of rain. And it's still winter. It's the dead of winter. We're almost dead center in the middle of winter, which for Southern California means like the 40s. But if you're supposed to be doing this, the 40s is not great. So one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to warm up. If the 10-day forecast is to be believed, I have a 1 day next week that is actually sort of suitable to painting. Thursday. The humidity won't be through the roof. The temperature will be reasonable. It will be clear outside so we can rely on a little bit of the sun. Alternately, so that's next Thursday, so we're looking at like the 15th or so. Either it's going to warm up by the 15th, or when paycheck time comes around again, was it Schoolboy Q, J. Cole, paid on the 1st, broke by the 3rd? Yeah, that's pretty much me. I spend the budget, the HD axles, the inserts, the Tusk LPs. Money come in, money go out. So either the weather will warm up and cooperate, or I had thought that those little paint booths with the forced evacuation, I had thought that those were like grotesquely expensive, like $200 for one that you could, paint a body in. Because if it's not big enough for me to paint a body in, it's really not worth futzing with. So, my intention is to buy one of those anyway, because, here's a little aside, in the summer, it gets hot enough here that you know how they have that range of temperatures that you're supposed to paint between? We are rarely below the low end. We're below it now. And it's also like 98% humidity outside. So the paint would be terrible. We have days, July, August, September, where it is so hot that when you spray the paint, it's drying before it hits what you're trying to paint. And then your paint is all crusty, which is kind of okay if you're doing, say, like patinas or something. It kind of works out. But I have a spot reserved right over, if you could see in a straight line right through all of the things that are in the way, right over by where the ultrasonic cleaner lives, there is a perfect spot for one of those little spray booths, and I will just cut a hole in the wall, and I will vent that thing out, and then I can paint year-round with no wind. To dream that entirely Amazon possible dream. So, I mean, even stuff like this. I've been cutting gates, and the tennis ball is the new hot meta. That's a golf ball. The golf ball is the new hot meta because I managed, once again, anything is possible via Amazon, under 50 cents a ball. I think they were like 45 cents a ball. So a whole course now, I am running out of nails. I'm going to have to buy a small box of framing. I've had these framing nails for 25 years. I stumbled upon the perfect drill bit setup. I think it's a 22 numbered, and then this is an 8.5 millimeter. And there's no finish work. I just drive the nail in, and it's hammered in like a nail. So when I turn these on the lathe, and look how centered we get. When I turn these on the lathe, I do it to shape. I paint them, and we're done. So we're working on, I think the next course, we're gonna do golf ball, not tennis ball. We're gonna do golf ball on the top, and the bases, I kind of like the cones. I do have enough rod to make a couple of the skinnies, so we're gonna go back and forth between the me characters, MII. These will be cones. We've already on the out on the course. We've got the front 9 and the back 9 at Anomaly and Leviathan, and one has yellow bases and one has red bases. We are going to do green bases, orange bases, and blue bases. Those are my goal, and I arrived at that goal because I looked through my cabinet of spray paint, and I have all of those colors. So that's how we're going to do the courses. They will be by the color. Leviathan is yellow. Anomaly is red. That would be the most difficult. I thought about doing black, but I wondered if it would even show up. So I have a couple different colors of blue, so we'll arrive at blue. I'm working on these, and that segues into where course 3 or 4, and by course I mean gated course, that will be at Sultan's Curse, which just needs infill. So that is a goal. It is not going to be super hot, which is great. We're like upper 50s, low 60s next week. The goal is to set that obstacle set in. I think I have enough material to set it in. We'll see. Because the big bugger, not the little bugger, BVG, the VRD bug over there, paint, just needs paint. The hard body Bronco needs paint. I need to paint a creep cab. I need to paint one of the little bug for the little bugger. I have the Raptor, on and on and on. We're into double digits in numbers of bodies that need to be painted. So painting's not one of my favorite things, and they're not all going to be patinas, so some of them have to take like care and masking and all sorts of anyway, we're going to get to that. We have it can't, and here's the hardest part, is having as many open It Came From the Workbench series, which are currently in production, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, and just wanting to start another one. And then when you don't start another one, it kind of gets, the others get pushed out of the way. The Flanco is currently somewhere between here and Europe. He shipped out a couple days ago, so hopefully we'll be able to get a picture up on the community board in the upcoming weeks of a Canyon built vehicle in a very far flung land. The little 12 scale Jimny went to Norway, but I had nothing to do with that. I shipped it in the box that it came in. I just basically drove it for 30 minutes, relabeled it, and sent it to Europe. So, we've got tire tests coming up, and the weather should cooperate. We still have those Canyon RTs to test. I have another one. I've got inserts to test. Where are they? I think I pointed them out before. The Famonda clones of Injoras, which is weird. Where's an Injora? So we're talking, well, you can definitely see there's less inner rib. Yeah, and wider. But with the weather was just good enough to test the boggers on the day we tested the boggers. And I don't want to leave it up to, oh, well, this tire did poorly because it's just sopping wet outside. We'll get a little bit of desert sun on it in a couple days. It'll clean up, and we will be good to go. So I will be working on all of those projects in the upcoming week. I hope to get some filming done in the bucket, finished, uploaded, so that will give me some time to do some coursework, because I'm getting that coursework itch. It has been too long since I've been able to do anything. I haven't really done a whole lot. I've moved some material, but like since I finished the step up part at Mavericks, and Mavericks isn't done. More lights, definitely. Either probably not in February. We're probably looking at March. I would like to get the next 3 strands of lights up. At least get Mavericks lit, that corner in Mavericks. And I want to get the Montanas lit. Anyway, it's almost like, the reach is 100% exceeding the grasp. So, we do wheeling because it will be the only wheeling I'll get in today. And the wheel of the day is our buddy the Tranquish. He is not light. And for those unfamiliar, see, there's his name, the Tranquish. For those unfamiliar, he is called the Tranquish because he's basically a Phoenix, right? We've got a VFD twin, but you'll notice it's got too many servos because he's on TRX4 axles with lockers. He just inherited Daphne's aluminum G2s in the front and basically Daphne's whole front end setup because he got the bigger knuckle weights. She got the smaller knuckle weights because she was picking up a bunch of axle weight. He got all of her little aluminum bits. May they live on well. So the weight, so he picked up some weight, not a huge amount of weight, and not enough, I think, to overwhelm the inserts or the suspension. It was more just like moving weight around. He used to have brass link and shock mounts, and we changed them out to the alloy because he went to a bigger weight up in the front. So I was joking to a buddy of mine. I was like, you know, all it would take to drop, we could take like 3/4 of a pound off of old Tranquish here. Just rebuild him to do micro servos, and we just have to put $200 in micro servos on him. And I was like, that amount of weight is a little to shed that is a little excessive. He is not light. He's in that 8.5 pound range, and honestly, we might see a place to test these, the ones that are seemingly too stiff. I also have a different set of Femondas. I've got purple and green, and they do feel different. I have the set of blues. I have a number of inserts that we can take hacks at to see. These are those split where they were printed in halves, and I can still feel it. It's still kind of odd, but they've done really well on him. And honestly, he's not been wheeled in a time long enough that I'm kind of forgetting, like, how do he do? Oh, do we all remember the 9.9 mod? Like, oh, yeah. Okay, listen. It's quick enough. It is the loudest servo I've ever heard. And I don't mean by, like, it passes the test. If you put load on it, it's dead silent. But its actual gear train, it's the loudest servo I've ever heard. It suits our man, the Tranquish, pretty well. A VFD twin. There's a lot of gears whirling around in there. Plus TRX4 axles, which for those unfamiliar, for those who see rigs like Jolly Green and others and are like, man, that is loud. The portal gear in a Traxxas portal box, and part of the explanation for why a TRX4 axle doesn't have the tightest imaginable turning circle is because the depth of the box right here is because the output gear in the portal box is probably at least 10 millimeters wide. It might be 12 millimeters wide. So there is so much gear contact surface. Wow, he sounds really good. If your drivetrain is quieter than your servo, I guess, you know, that's worth taking. But yeah, they're not quiet, and there's really no way to quiet them down. Do we need some trimming? No, I think we're pretty good. All right, let's wheel a bit. Let's wheel a little bit, and then I mean, if you're coming, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you're coming in from the live stream, you've spent some time today in the canyon. Fingers crossed. I don't know yet. For me, it's not going to happen for another like 5 hours. So we'll see this, and then fingers crossed, we'll see the other thing too. As I said, it is early, and during the night, it rained again just a little bit more. Just 42 degrees Fahrenheit and 95% relative humidity, which, as I imagine people in other parts of the country and the world at large would say, oh, in the winter we would dream of those conditions. Okay, so what has happened is the dig servo is out of adjustment. We are in two-wheel drive. We're locked. Yeah, we have no rear drive. And now we've made an adjustment, but I am low confidence. Oh no, there we go. We're driving. We're driving. Yeah, he uses his weight to his advantage for sure. I also had to remind myself, what does what? What does what? He's one of the few rigs in the fleet for sure that is using, he is using channels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? What's on 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the other diff. Channel diffs are 5 and 6. Dig is 4, variable overdrive is 3, throttle is 2, and steering is 1. Yeah, this is a 6-channel boy. Let's throw a light bar on him on a switch so we can use all 7 channels. I do love the Baja Claw. Oh, okay. I see it. You see it? Do you see it? So we don't just... Dig has gone out of adjustment. That diff lock has also gone out of adjustment a little. It was an exercise. The Tranquish was born out of, could we put something together that has 5 servos in it? And come on. Yeah, he can do the shuttle push with the best of them. And oddly, he has got the quietest VFD/twin that I've got. And his TRX4 axles are pretty darn quiet too. Let's do a pivot right here, and we can get up a little more. Get up right about there. Then we do boom, boom. Okay. He's too powerful. We're just knocking rocks out. So on Undertaker, as you're looking at it right now, all of this over here. So from this line right here that goes up that little notchy section, all this over here is all set, and then the line right here that runs up Daphne's like that, that's all set, and the little saddle right up here at the top, that's just dirt fill. I never filled it because I had considered this. Okay, this is how obstacles work around here. When we think about this section right here, I never use this section where he's sitting for anything. It's just a thing that you drive over to transition to the other side. So I was unwilling to commit to setting these particular rocks in. Let's see if we can knock some more out of place. Because what if I want to do something different right here? There we go. We got that one out. Oh, he's taking one with him. Get it! That's Tranquish's rock now. So as I sit here and look at it now, I think, yeah, those rocks he's coming through right now, not barring the rock that his front wheels are on right now, I would like to reconfigure that. Maybe get like a little, like a kind of an S bend. I'm making shapes. I'm making hand shapes back here where you can't see them. Make like a little S bendy in through there, a little sort of a canyon in the midst of Undertaker, and I've got more rock. Got a little bit more rock. Could be placebo effect, but one of the beauties of being a human is that we are susceptible to it. I feel something. There's something different in the front end. Doing some little dig arounds, and then we rolled it out anyway. Yeah, his haphazardly set up, the front shocks are right side up and the rear shocks are upside down. It just kind of works. You stumble into one of these things and you're like, well, I'm not going to change it. It's working. Getting a little slip there. I want to see the transition here on the wet. I can't remember what overdrive I'm in, but I think it might be big. Look how planted he goes through there. I mean, if that were something that we were going to test vehicles against one another on, this guy's in the top. He's in the top few percent. Oh, and he'll throw that wheel up. Yeah, the Baja. I do love a Baja claw. Keep steering into it. Yeah, let's just see. Can we cut it around? Oh, this is a great dig tire. Yeah, something right in here. Like right here, that rock in front of him, I would like that rock moved. The rock with the white stripe running through it, I would like to move that. You know what? I mean, I'm not saying that I figured out what I might be doing part of tomorrow or the next day. But you can see the mixer right over there. And as much as I want to set in Sultans, but this is close and convenient. I just need it a little bit warmer and a little less rainy. Yeah, something. So restructure this rock section right in through here. We'll dig there. We'll dig there. Ooh, nope. We'll dig. I said dig. There we go. Swing it. Whoop. Way out. Oh, no. Okay. He's so quiet today. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I was thinking of a different tire. I was like, oh, no, his foams. No, he's on 3D. We're good. Whenever I see that lake, this... Wait, I gotta unlock. There we go. This lake right here, that, it just won't drain. It stays for days. Whenever I get near that, I immediately go, oh no, we're gonna drown. Pulling a little tight. Let's see how he does on him wet. You know, I mean, maybe there's something to it. You know, I'm not a ghost guy, but I feel like some energy came over in the transference of those parts. Those blue portal, what do they call them? Are they the C-hub delete? Whatever they call the blue pieces, right? That his rear portal boxes mount to. Those were purchased for one reason and one reason alone. You have to get to $99 on AMAIN to qualify for free shipping. So I go to like, there's a search you can do where you can bring up just all crawler parts. And it'll bring up like 21,000 parts or something. And then you just sort by, you click clearance and you sort by lowest price first. And those are STRC and they were on blowout clearance for like $2.65. And I was like, there we go. And that's how they ended up on Daphne. And then Daphne got GRCs, and that's how one-hander here, just no lift. And that's how they ended up on here. And I feel like there's a little bit of carryover magic in them. And they go nice with this paint. So this is Sultan's. This is the newest stuff that I've laid in at Sultan's. This is what's going to get set in for one of the next 9-ball courses. And this isn't all of it. It extends out of frame to the right. I can't, like, I'm touching one of the Montanas, so I can't sit over there. So Hannah Montana took about 5 bags of Portland to set, and I have 3 bags of Portland and 4 bags of mortar. So I'm hoping that I have enough to do this with the existing supply. The goal is so he can go into a little slot back here. Little slot here. The goal is, oh, I can't see what's going on. Abandoned, bail. Oh, those, yeah, G2s are. I'm coming to the conclusion that for a TRX4 axle, the G2 knuckles are just like a must. And I have seen on AliExpress, people were worried, if you rewind back to, I think it was September of 2023, when we did the review on that exact set of GR2s. That was the first set I bought, and I just wanted aluminum for Daphne. people were concerned that the output stub, the stub axle, and the output gear are one piece. They're one machined piece. And people were like, oh, well, what if you break that? I found them on AliExpress, $5 for the output stubs. And my belief, and I hope not to test it today or on any day in the future, my belief is that so long as you don't change your portal input gear, the little odd-shaped gear that's up at the top that comes off of the universal, as long as you don't change those are sintered. Those will break before the output gear breaks. So that's like your little mini slipper clutch. So on no TRX4 would I ever switch to the machined portal input gears, because then you give up. How is he so quiet? Oh, that's right. So there's full speed in reverse. That is a Fusion Pro 2300 in there. And then here's full speed and forward. It's acceptable. He's on a belt drive. Because if you combine the gear reduction of a TRX4 portal with a VFD, you have what they call a lot of gear reduction. So belt drives offer very little in the way of gear reduction, depending on the number of teeth on the small pulley, big pulley, and the cog. There are ones with fine teeth, and then there are ones with coarse teeth. And the coarse tooth, not horse teeth, coarse teeth, the coarse tooth one is 2.6 to 1. It's either 2.3 to 1 or 2.6 to 1, and the other one is the opposite of that. Generally, when you're doing a spurt opinion, like if we're talking what comes stock on a VFD, it's like 1556, which is 3 point, that 3.5, 3.6. And stock on a TRX4 gearbox for the 2-speeds would be, 1145? So just over 4 to 1, and you can put a 9 in there and run 5 to 1. So you're taking away a lot of gear reduction with the belt drive. And when you have something that is as crispy fast as this guy, which is not crispy nor fast, we can definitely get away with the belt drive. And a belt drive makes a VFD twin just quiet. He's a no riser. You don't have to get up for this guy. I know. I recognize this is none of this is set, and we're just making a mess. What a good boy. Doesn't quite have it. There. We love it when a plan comes together. We love when a thought experiment comes to fruition. And that is definitely what happened here. He has a lot of buttons and he has a lot of switches. I sometimes forget where they all go. Unfortunately, the sliders, the Phoenix sliders, which are VS 410 sliders, if they could be, I don't know, 6-8 millimeters narrower per side and just pull that body in, it's not pushing the body out. It's just if he was tucked in just the tiniest bit tighter, I think it would help everyone. We got to go with what we got to go with, which is some angry Alexa noises. He's king of the mountain. Ooh. So, in talks of futures present, I'm supposed to be setting up the live stream stuff already. The live stream that hopefully you already watched. Weird, right? Crazy. So we're gonna be like, yeah, that's that. So now I've been distracted again like a butterfly flittering around. I want to set all this in, but I'm going to steal some of the materials from it to set in, do the final infill on the saddle over there at Undertaker. And then we won't have enough material to finish this. So I'm going to start at this end, the block end. I'm going to start over here and move that way. And the course, oh, yes. It's not set in enough to even show it. But the course is going to like start up there and then wrap. So it's going to go like like a serpent. It's going to go around. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 like hills with little valleys in between them, and you're going to have to go in between all those through the 9 gates. So it'll be fun. That's the goal. That's the hope. Tranquish had a good time. Can we get down off this? Let's try a little dig drag here. I said dig. That's top quality descending. Those are some dirty tires. Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday for a weekly update that is purely occurring because I am a creature of a particular habitat, and the past, your past, my future, is that something's going to go wrong and the live stream's not going to work. Right? It's just in me. It's in me. So we do what we ordinarily do. So we have a 4 o'clock upload, you know? So maybe it'll be a double. Maybe it'll be a catastrophe. Hey, it's content either way, right? So thank you so much for joining us here in the canyon. Check out links. Do all the things. Leading amongst which is, in between now and when we meet again, please one and all do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We will see you again very soon from the canyon. Canyon things, I guess. Listen to how quiet he is. For so many gears, that's a quiet boy.